AskReddit by Amazing Living 9957. What's one drug that's dangerous but is considered normal? Alcohol really caused a tough period in my life for like 2 years. Really had to get my shit together. It's easy to become addicted without realizing it. Alcohol, hands down. I remember when I ended up quitting toward the end there, I couldn't even explain to myself why I drank. It no longer made me feel good. My drinking ramped up because I thought being drunk felt great, so I drank. But after a few years of abuse, I remember sitting around at the bar drinking, being like 8 drinks deep and barely feeling buzzed, knowing that 3-4 more drinks would make me blackout, and wondering why I'm even doing this. Depends where you live. In the financial district of London, coke was so common as to be normal. Some oik is having a fucking piss in the coke room. Alcohol, hands down. Yeah, I work at a hospital and I've met people who drink so hard they give themselves dementia. They are some of the hardest people to deal with. Venlafaxine, Effexor. The worst side effects of a dose is taken even a little late. Trying to come off of it has been compared to heroin withdrawals. I was on Effexor for 1.5 years and one time I had run out of my meds. I couldn't go pick up my prescription for a couple of days because we had a really bad snowstorm and roads were awful. I literally felt like I was dying for being off of it for 2 days. I ended up switching meds shortly after that. Benadryl. I used to trip on Benadryl. I didn't initially set out to do it, but after taking 2 one night to sleep and then 3 another night and then 4, I realized that I enjoyed the funny sensations it made me feel. It was a different kind of high. 4 tablets turned into 8, 10, 15, and as high as 20. That's right, I used to take as many as 20 50mg tablets of Benadryl to get high. I don't know how the fuck I'm alive, but never do it. Benadryl is super dangerous if you abuse it. Benadryl was my teen son's drug of choice for a while. Cheap and easy to get, not hard to shoplift a big bottle of you're a broke kid. That shit can put you straight into a scary psychosis, I've seen it. Any anticholinergic drug. Diphenhydramine, specifically. It's commonly in Benadryl, but has been used as a sleep aid. People use it all the time for sleep, but it's linked to cognitive decline and dementia. https://www.webmd.com/alzheimer's/what-is-the-link-between-anticholinergic drugs-and-dementia-risk. If you want to see something sad, you should check out RDPH. It's just people slowly killing themselves with massive doses of Benadryl and hating life. Deleted. I saw a piece that said it wouldn't be approved by the FDA using today's guidelines. Oof. Edit. Approved for OTC. Cymbalta about made me lose my mind. Prednisone side effects are serious and I don't feel that is disclosed. Fuck Cymbalta. Those brain zaps were agonizing. I had to get myself off that by taking apart the capsules and literally taking out 1-2 of the little beads inside each dose. I will never forget that feeling. Ugh. Acetaminophen. I knew a guy that had some chronic pain issues and he began taking acetaminophen daily. He also drank regularly. He began to lose weight and became very sick. Diagnosed with liver failure. Soon he was on hospice care and then died. I used to take it for headaches or whatever minor pain, but that scared me off it. Benzos. This. At 18, I was put on Ativan for over 2 years straight due to PTSD and wasn't warned about the addictive potential. Learned that the hard way. Even ignoring addiction risk, the withdrawals are hell. I've come off cold turkey, do not ever do this, you can seriously die. And also later came off them gradually under doc supervision. Both experiences were absolute torture, and I experienced rebound anxiety, insomnia, cravings etc. for months. diphenhydramine, Benadryl. With a high enough dose, it becomes a deliriant. People that know this about it see it as a way to trip. However, unlike traditional psychedelic drugs, for example LSD, psilocybin, DMT, etc., it's almost invariably a really bad time. And due to some recent TikTok challenges, it's become a real issue with kids. I have a shirt that says I can't take Benadryl because I owe the hat man money, and I don't wanna see him. Tramadol. Not the safe opioid substitute they like to sell it as. It is still addictive and you will still suffer withdrawal from it. A cold turkey tramadol withdrawal almost killed a good friend some years ago. It is not benign. Use it if you must, but use it with your eyes open. MD here. There's a lot of older docs that bought the advertising hype for tramadol as a non-addictive narcotic substitute and continue to prescribe it when they wouldn't feel safe using traditional narcotics. More up-to-date docs avoid it like the plague, as not only is it less effective for pain, it has a lot of side effects med interactions because it behaves like multiple different classes of meds all rolled into one. It's both a narcotic and an SNRI, for example. I like to call it tramadont. Well, now I'm scared to take Tylenol. Don't be. It is safe in moderation. Ozempic, it kicked the crap out of me. I am type 2. You lose weight because you are sick to your stomach all day with it. Then when you stop you gain it all back. I also blame it for having to have my gallbladder out. Tobacco, because it's the only one that directly kills people around you as well. Also contains polonium-210 and lead-210 radioactive isotopes, which is scary business. There are safer ways to do nicotine if you want the stim effect. In New Zealand, when we banged smoking inside, I'll never forget what it was like being in bars. I used to hang out in one in particular because my GF's bestie worked there, waiting for her to get off work and bestie later off shift. I'm not super sociable, so would just quietly sit there and nurse a beer and smoke. The day they banged indoor smoking, the change was ridiculous. I'd never noticed how gross my clothes would get being in that environment. Everything reeked and was just kind of accepted. Only downside after the change was bestie used to be able to sneak puffs off whatever I had lit when working. She had to switch to waiting for her break to have a smoke. Alcohol 100%. Every other drug is known to be dangerous except caffeine, as that's benign as fuck. Also paracetamol. Drug overdose admissions to the emergency room are usually mostly from paracetamol or acetaminophen. Coke. It can destroy your heart and nose and is extremely difficult to quit. But it's so normalized because it will make you feel like you're always winning, and this world doesn't like losers. I was a regular user. I haven't done it in like 8 years and my sinuses are still fucked up. SSRIs. But only for certain groups of people. It was unfortunately how I found out I'm bipolar, after it sent me into a manic episode and landed me in a psych ward. The risks aren't talked about enough, and doctors hand this out freely to people. There should be some kind of preliminary psych evaluation and scheduled follow-ups, rather than just let's try it and see. Aside from completely killing my sex drive, it made me feel like a robot and that I was just existing in this life. The conversation with my doctor was basically, you scored high on the depression screening, here's a script. After 2 months I quit cold turkey and suffered through the brain zaps for a month or so. Won't be doing that again unless I see a psychiatrist first. Alcohol. Poison to your relationships. Poison to your mind. Feeling down? Alcohol will make it worse, then it will make you addicted. It will somehow trick your mind into thinking that it's the only thing that will make you feel better. If you drink alcohol on a regular basis, you will always be detoxing from it. Soon you will even forget what feeling normal feels like. Liquor is called spirits for a reason. I have seen someone turn into a demon while drinking it, and for some reason it's as socially acceptable as caffeine. I haven't drank in about 6 months and I feel way better. I love vipers, so I'm sure I'll have one again soon. Especially with baseball around the corner. However, my days of heavy drinking are over. It just makes me feel like garbage. Caffeine. And not just the death lemonade. So many parents are hurting their kids with the belief that caffeine is better than ADHD stimulant medication for ADHD. This isn't helped by the medication shortage created by the government. Literally hate people thinking caffeine will fix ADHD issues. Caffeine puts half of us to sleep or chills us out. It has the opposite effect, LMFAO. Alcohol. Sugar. Jesus, we are dependent on sugar and it's the cause of so many health issues. First you get the sugar. Then you get the power. Then you get the women. Alcohol, 100%. Lithium salts have a pretty narrow therapeutic window for a drug that's commonly prescribed for severe depression and bipolar disorder. Lithium carbonate worked quite well for me for a while, especially for bipolar depression. However, the cognitive effects were ultimately more than I could handle. A low dose of OTC lithium orotate, in combination with another mood stabilizer, is a nice compromise.